Welcome to this episode of Our Time. Now, we're talking about travelling solo with Phillip Stiles. That's if you're travelling overseas and you have no partner to go with. Ken is talking to Richard Pascoe. He's the Adelaide tech guy. So a bit more interesting information about computers and staff. And we have two faces you'll remember from the old days of TV, Bob and Sonia Dixon, who don't look old at all. But right now, here's the lovely Janice.
And Phillip Stiles is one of our regulars. Welcome back to the program, Phillip.
Lovely to be with you again.
Thank you for coming and talking to us. Now, holidays, it's always lovely to talk about holidays. Now, what we're going to talk about, though, today is actually thinking about a holiday if you're on your own. Would you do it? And how easy is it?
Solo travelling is something that is growing, but there's great trepidation on the part of the would-be traveller. If I use the lighter side of life and think that sometimes a few males fall off the perch earlier than their partners, and so there are quite often a lot of women in particular, but males also, looking for the travel option and are quite concerned about the inherent potential risks. And so to give them confidence, there are a number of clubs that have been formed in various parts of Australia, and in South Australia, Phil Hoffman Travel have got a solo club.
Okay.
And they match and bring together people who have similar interests. But what they do is bring them together socially first so that they feel comfortable.
What a great idea.
And then the sort of suggestions I make to people is that you might, to break the ice as such, consider a shorter journey that may be more localised, or do a short cruise to New Zealand or flight and a package tour there that you join other people.
Just to get the feel of things and give you a bit of more confidence than probably...
I think that everybody, when they're with someone who's new to them, needs something to feel confident and not be threatened by it. No, I don't mean threatened in the sense of danger. I mean just the privacy of a bathroom.
Sure. And
so hopefully one's an early riser and the other is a bit slow off the mark in the mornings. In they go first and wait for the signal to hop in there. Those who are on a cruise and up all night watching shows and having nightcaps or what have you, then there's always a way that you can work together to keep access to the facilities. But then if you're travelling, we have some friends, a woman in particular who comes to mind who's well into her 70s and quite often goes across to the UK to see family, but then does a planned trip to another part of the world from the UK.
Yeah.
But she's travelled independently to Japan and to Africa, in Turkey, and another to Egypt. You look at the types of tour you're taking, people who you can join with, and the destinations. Think carefully of what you want to do first, and then you'll gain that confidence.
I mean, for me, I didn't realise that there were groups like that. I mean, I just thought it just takes a lot of courage. When I hear about people just deciding to go on a holiday, I think, wow, that's fantastic at their age.
With tongue-in-cheek, they're not dating agencies. They are people who are just looking for the confidence of having someone else to travel with them. And from that, there are a huge number of opportunities. I can tell more stories about people who've travelled, some sisters who travelled together who I said to them, well, a bit nervous at first, where are your husbands? And they said, oh no, they're home. Why aren't they travelling with you? We didn't ask them. And so they loved travelling together and enjoyed it very much. So there's sometimes family reasons that bring the so-called solo traveller together. There is always a concern of the additional costs that potentially exists, and in days gone by, quite often the single supplements were as much as 100%.
Sure.
And so today, with the market as competitive as it is, you'll find that some supplements can be as low as 25%, but you have the benefit of your own facilities when you're travelling. That's often important if there's a small group, for example.
Yeah. I did see something recently, actually. It was a cruise ship must have been a documentary, and there was a gentleman amongst the people that were being interviewed, and he was asked about his partner, and he said, no, I'm travelling on my own, and I have for the past 28 years or something. And I think once you find something too that you enjoy, and cruises are becoming very popular too.
I think cruising makes it even easier for you, because whilst you might find someone to share your cabin with and you can be matched with, a ship gives you many opportunities to do your own thing, but still within the comfort of other people around you.
Yeah.
Because you have on ships cinemas, special talks, educational opportunities to learn how to operate a computer better than you might already do. Special interest briefings as such, destinational briefings, cinemas to hide off, morning tea, afternoon tea, all the eating of course, and you might choose to just go to an open seating plan so that you meet different people each night as part of that trip.
Absolutely.
And then in each destination there's a trip or a day tour, half day tour you can take.
And the thing with that too is that you don't have to worry about packing bags and carrying bags through to train stations or airports. It's all just you get on the ship and
with the person who you're sharing with, you're not with them 24/7 in that sense. That there are plenty of breakaway opportunities for a moment of your own.
Yes.
And people, when they're travelling, are different sometimes. But I think look for good friends who may want to travel. I had another dodgy story for you. A woman a couple of them were celebrating their divorces by going on a solo holiday.
Okay.
I'm not sure they're looking for a new husband. I don't think they were actually, but it was a reason to be a solo traveller, so they wanted to find someone else to travel with. There's a woman who travels frequently and has 3 daughters, so they take it in turns in travelling with her.
Oh, lovely.
And they love it, gives them a break from the kids, which they don't confess
to go to look after
and
mum.
we're looking after mum. So other ways as well that people can find to do that solo travel. I've had more recently a good friend of ours who decided Paris was it, and so she arranged 3 different apartments during the time of the month she spent there, and she had other friends who were visiting Paris at the time who spent some time with her, but found it ideal and worked for her just as a true independent traveller.
Yeah, wonderful.
Again, you don't go looking for trouble. You don't go. You ask wherever you are, is it comfortable to go here, or is there a tour I can go on this particular day? And you'll find that most things that you want to do, you'll be able to do.
And it is just a matter of asking the question, isn't it? And if you are travelling and you find yourself a little lost, really just a matter of asking somebody.
More often than not, within the first person you ask will help you. If you're in a strange city and someone doesn't understand English, then you might have a couple of attempts, but more often than not, you'll find there's someone to help.
Absolutely. I was recently in Morocco, luckily, a couple of years ago, with a couple of girlfriends, and we're standing in the middle of a square with the map. Suddenly there's 3 or 4 people, where would you like to go, in their broken English, but lovely people, very helpful. It was nothing to be frightened of. It was absolutely wonderful. So,
look, I find myself holding back when I'm home and there's someone holding a map.
Yeah.
You have that natural instinct to say, can I help you? And the world has lots of nice people here.
That's for sure.
Yes.
Philip, thanks. We've run out of time again, but thank you so much for coming and talking to us again. Please, hope we've helped you, and please find your confidence and find a group, and off you go on your travels. Thanks, Philip.
Lovely to be here.
Well, I guess most of us have computers of some sort, be it tablets or be it computers or be it laptops. I grew up with crystal sets, so I've come a long way. Do I fully understand them? Not really, and you might be in the same boat. That's why we have Richard Pascoe, Adelaide tech guy, with us. Richard, welcome.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you for having me here tonight.
Well, it's a pleasure, I think. Well, I'll be the judge of that later. Mate, there's a lot to learn, there's a lot to know, and there are a lot of traps for people particularly going on the net and receiving emails. And while we're talking about emails, a lot of emails come from people you don't know, and they have attachments. You don't open them, do you?
You don't, and you should live by one rule. If you don't think it was meant for you, it probably wasn't. So go through all your emails, just have a good look at them and just understand that 95% of them at the moment are absolute nonsense when they come through. So your bank doesn't send you an email. Nobody loves you. The dancing cat's not that funny. You can't lose weight in 6 minutes a day. Nobody wants to give you a $50 gift card. The parcel's not coming. We could go on and on. But just, you've got to understand that these are for a trap to get you to click on them, and then they get inside your computer and they can take your personal details.
And wreck your computer.
Wreck your computer. You know, I dealt with somebody last week, and what happened was that they clicked a link in an email. That gave access to their Google account, and somebody went in, took all their contacts, removed them, took them right out, so they were left with their emails, no contacts. Now all those contacts are now out in the wild somewhere, so those people start to get spam, even more spam than they've ever seen before.
How seriously do the authorities take these people doing this? I mean, it's a criminal offence, surely?
It's a worldwide thing. So you will find that there are some things around the world where they'll go in and they'll shut some of these operations down, but there's so many of these operations going on now, there's millions of emails going out every single day. And it's hard in some countries. America arrests them occasionally, and England will arrest them occasionally, but it's a very hard thing to control.
Yeah, I must confess I've received some of these. I think there was one from FedEx. Well, I thought, well, I had nothing to do with FedEx. I didn't click on the link. Had I, what would have happened? You
would have got a virus on your computer. It would have just gone through and shut your computer down. That's what it's designed to do. And in the background, start transmitting all your data to third parties.
Third parties? For spam,
for spam, and getting you to go somewhere else. So they will take over your internet browser as well. So when you go to Google something, you'll end up going to Google with 3 O's.
If this happens to you, what do you do? Is it expensive? Can it be remedied?
You can get it fixed. So you call in a professional person to come along, have a look at your computer and get all of this sorted out. It can be fixed, but in some cases it will mean wiping your computer and starting again.
So you could lose everything that you've had on that computer for years?
You could, quite comfortably.
It's not the people that fix it sending these things out, is it?
No, that's old wives' tale, Ken. We don't do that. Yeah.
So if you don't know the person sending you the email, delete it?
Just delete it. And just, you know, if you don't really, you know, it goes back to that point. If you don't think it was meant for you, it probably wasn't.
How many people get hit? I mean, how common is it?
It's commonplace, very common. And if you do get, you know, if you do get infected on your computer, tell somebody. Don't be afraid to tell somebody.
Intriguing stuff, Richard. A little on the scary side, but thank you very much. Next time you come in, we'll talk about something, well, a little bit happier, hopefully.
Hopefully. Thank you for having me, Ken.
Pleasure, mate. Adelaide Tech Guy, Richard Pascoe.
Oh, Janice.
Malcolm.
Looking lovingly into each other's eyes, what started you off doing this?
What do you mean exactly?
Well, no. I learned how to do this from Bob and Sonia Dixon when they used to sing together on TV. Because they always looked lovingly at each other. Probably hated each other off. Oh, hang on, they're right here. Bob and Sonia Dixon, welcome to our time.
Thank you very much.
You know, that is my memory of you two singing together on television. That wasn't good grammar, but of you singing together on television. The way that as you sang sort of love songs and songs of the day, we all believed you really were.
And they were. They really were.
We ended up getting married.
We did.
Which came first, the looking lovingly as you sang to each other?
Yeah.
Or
yes, that
did you fall in love first?
I think we fell in love first. Yeah.
And I guess a lot of people watching all over Australia would remember Bob and Sonia from Well, what were the shows here? First of all, they were made here in Adelaide, but most of the things you did went national.
Yeah, there was Country and Western Hour that was national, and then we did Adelaide Tonight that was once a fortnight. So, yeah.
Weren't they great days?
Oh, great
which
days.
so many people locally will remember.
Well, we were lucky because we sort of started off on TV, you know, like on talent shows and things. So and people these days don't really get the chance to do that.
Tonight shows were sort of the talent shows of the day, I suppose.
Yeah.
They're trying to make variety these days out of talent quests, whereas this was variety with real performers who were variety artists,
Yes,
as you were. What's your earliest memory of television?
Oh, Torrens Road, watching at Ernst Smith's.
Through the window.
Through the window.
Oh, yes. But what about when you first saw yourself? Because we didn't. Because when shows went out, they went out live, didn't they?
Yeah.
And so you never actually got to see yourself. But when you first saw yourself, what did you think?
My parents used to hate it if we watched ourselves in the same room because we would say, "Oh, look at that! Look at you! Look what you're doing!" You know.
Your own worst critic.
Yeah.
Now, from being performers, though, you've continued to be performers, but you've gone on to do lots more,
Yeah.
which is...
Well, we've got married, and then
that's
we
always-
And the family.
got married, shifted to Sydney, and we worked in Sydney in the clubs for 2.5 years. And then
Was that your honeymoon?
that was our honeymoon, yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
what
good.
brought you back to Adelaide then after Sydney?
Well, we travelled before we came back to Adelaide. We travelled overseas for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Worked on ships and did all sorts of shows.
We're lucky enough to do the maiden voyage on the old QE2, which only retired a couple of years ago now. So
Fantastic.
we're lucky on that one.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of being a performer, though, particularly a portable performer like you are, because you don't really need anybody else than each other.
That's right.
What a wonderful way to keep a marriage together.
It's a great way to travel too, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, we went
Wonderful.
to Germany and went down to South Africa, and worked our way on the ships to and from England. So it was really
right.
great. So we
But you also had a family.
we had
Yes.
a family when we got back to Australia.
So that settled you, that was the reason for settling back in Adelaide?
Yeah. Well, all our families were here as well.
And you went into sort of an allied business, to show business, obviously.
Yes, yeah, we've started a little company. I'm an electronic technician by trade, so we started a sound and lighting company back in 1970, and it's still going. So.
And are the family involved?
Yeah,
Did it become all of that as well?
Yeah, we've got a son now that's sort of managing that now, and he's doing a great job.
It's good having family involved in your business. That's what's having a succession plan. I said that, shouldn't I?
There's still time, did you say?
Never mind.
Oh, never mind. Oh, what? The years have gone too. So you're going to do a song for us now, which we've been looking forward to. But the lovely thing is that you're still performing and regularly.
Yeah.
But as you said to me, you don't like taking bookings too far ahead,
No,
just in
because-
case.
Just in case we want to go somewhere and have a holiday or go away.
Which is, again, the lovely thing about being a couple working
Yeah, it's
together.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, so what are you going to do for us?
It's called The Air That I Breathe.
Okay. And the thing is, do you still look lovingly at each other?
We'll try.
We do, but I play keyboards and Bob plays guitar, so it's a little bit harder to look at
so you
each
can
other all
actually
the
look at
time.
what you're
Concentrate
playing.
on what they're doing.
Oh, I love that. Have you got advice to anybody who perhaps has young family who are starting off in the business? What's the success to both being in a performer and still being married at 2 or 3 years after the event?
Success, I don't know. It's a bit of compromise, just enjoy what you do. Don't get too serious about it.
And work fairly hard.
And work hard.
You have to anyway, don't you, in this
And
business?
involve everybody in your passion, I suppose,
Yeah,
which
yes.
your children as well. Let them grow up living your life and enjoying your life.
Yes, well, if we do a show now, Matthew quite often mixes sound for us, the oldest one.
Perfect.
Yeah, so...
Perfect.
And one of the grandsons does as well, so...
Okay, well, look, we'll be back in a tick with Bob and Sonia Dixon,
Yes.
just like it used to be.
Yes.
If I could make a wish, I'd think I'd pass. Can't think of anything I need. No cigarettes, no sleep, no light, no sound. Nothing to eat, no books to read. Making love with you has left me peaceful, warm and tired. What more could I ask? There's nothing left to be desired. Peace came upon me, and it leaves me weak. So sleep, silent angel, go to sleep. Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe and to love you. All I need is the air that I breathe, yes, to love you. All I need is the air that I breathe. Peace came upon me, and it leaves me weak. So sleep, silent angel, go to sleep. Sometimes all I need is the air that I breathe and to love you. All I need is the air that I breathe, yes, to love you. All I need is the air that I breathe. Peace came upon me, and it leaves me weak. So sleep, silent angel, go to sleep.
Oh, lovely.
It's lovely to see their happy, smiley faces. I wonder if they really do still love each other.
I'm sure they do, Malcolm.
I think they look
They
like
look
it.
like they do.
They always did. Do you know, that is truly one of the fondest memories I have of that program, and I've always remembered when you work with somebody, we've worked together so much, knowing that you, showing how that you really feel towards somebody. It's just terrific. And thank you so much to Bob and Sophie. It's great to have
Yes, absolutely lovely.
Because we know them both as friends as
We
well. This is
do.
lovely.
And it was very nice talking to Philip Stiles, and interesting.
But why didn't he ask us to go off on a holiday? I would have gone by myself.
I know you do that, don't you? Never mind.
I do,
No, but
yes.
it's nice to have some more information like that.
Oh, you know, I think that is actually one of the biggest problems. If you don't have a partner to go with, to go alone is sometimes very daunting. And
But
to know
I
that-
didn't realise that you can actually join a group and, you know, just join with people that you have familiar things together. Did that come out right?
It did. I was just thinking of something else completely. We got to go now. Keep yourself nice till we see you again.
Bye for now.
Bye.